Okay, welcome everyone to Behind the Buzz. Put Google AI to work for your business. We have our presenter today, Yulkendy Valdez, and we're very pleased to have her today talking about this very important topic. We will do a recap at the end to talk about Boston Business Mentors, but let's get right into our topic today. And I'm going to hand it over to Yulkendy.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. So excited to be here. We're just gonna jump into the deck today. And the chat, please give me some love. And I want to hear either feel free to unmute yourself really quickly or put in the chat. How many times have you heard the word AI just this week alone? Let me see. I want to make sure. Feel free to introduce yourself, share more about your business. Right. Daily. Yes, Cara. It's a lot. And so 100 times. I love that, Teresa. Too many times to count. Exactly. So the idea today is to go beyond theory and put AI to work. Like, yes, it's out there, is available to us all, but what can it actually do for our business? What can it actually do for our individual productivity so we can get back to doing the things we do best, building great products, great services, our creativity, developing amazing relationships with our customers. And that's the idea. Like we weren't meant to be in emails all day. This is meant to really accelerate us. If it's not, then we need to try something differently. And luckily, there's a lot of tools out there. Today, I'm going to focus on a lot of the Google's tools. But as you learn about the frameworks from Grow with Google, you'll find that you can adapt them to other tools that you're using as you experiment and build your AI playbook. My name is Yulkendy Valdez. I'm the new coach for the Northeast. It means I spend a lot of time with small business owners such as yourself, thinking through how they can use AI to save time and money in their daily operations, their business workflows, whether marketing, HR, operations, inventory management, whatever it is. And I'm not just talking at you, I'm also a small business owner myself. I founded a company called Healers Health. It's a technology company that works with schools, government agency, health systems to help youth and families enrolled in social benefit programs. So I'm learning along with you. I'm going to be paying attention to the chat and taking ideas, and we're in it together today. Awesome. I want to hear a little bit more about going into the session, even this week. What are things that you've been trying with AI lately? Or if you haven't been trying AI yet as much, what are those annoying, really frustrating, recurring tasks that you're having either on a daily, on a weekly basis that you wish you can delegate to an AI? What are those things that come top of mind? Every other sentence. Thank you, Denise. Yeah, social media posts. I get that a lot. Marketing, building our 30-day calendar, whether it's an Instagram or LinkedIn. It's a lot of fun, but not when you have to do it consistently and then you have other things to do. Thank you, Elena. What else? And the reason we start here is because we can't just go to the AI tool without having an understanding of how we currently operate manually and the things we're doing, our current team's capacity. So it's important to start with that list. And if you haven't, I would take some time to journal. What are the top 20 things that are taking you more than 3 to 4 hours a day? And initially, those were things where you were like, I need to hire someone, and you still maybe should in some parts. But now you also have, in the meantime, if you can afford a full-time person, a contractor, now you have AI that you can delegate that to. Proposals, creating effective email communications, ideas, knowing how to get AI to work with other AI system to organize my business. Robbie, that's a good one. And that means you're a stage where you already have a few tools that you like, and now you're trying to get them together. We'd love to know as we proceed through the webinar today, what are those tools that you're trying to integrate pretty well thank you all for sharing. We're gonna do some demos on those very much task and workflows that you mentioned. We might not cover them all, but a lot of what we're showing today will help you potentially build systems to solve for a lot of these. In terms of our agenda, is going to move pretty quickly. I'm going to introduce you to Google's AI, mainly two tools. Notebook LM. Have we heard of Notebook LM? Now, we're calling them Gemini Notebook. They're the research note-taking assistant tool for Google. Essentially, you can create these digital notebooks where you can upload your own sources of truth. What does that mean? That means that you are training the AI to synthesize based on the data that you already trust. So you're reducing hallucination, you're reducing AI slop, and you're creating more personalized outputs for what you need because it's your own sources of truth. The sources of truth behind your business, whether your operating plans, your pricing plan, business model, and also the sources that you trust about the industry. So I'll share more about Notebook LM, Gemini Notebook, and then also Gemini, which is our personal AI assistant. Let me know if you're already a fan of Gemini, what you're using it for. Hopefully today will help you take Gemini to the next level. And then we're going to review prompting a little bit. I'm sure you all are maybe super sharp prompters already. This is just a way to learn Google's framework and see if it helps you create and generate better prompts. If you already have really good prompts, I would say share it with one another. This is not the time to gatekeep because more than likely, if you work in the same industry, we can all use that prompt and then help save us time, and then your prompt can help save someone a lot of time because again it's all about what you give it, it's all about your instructions to get the best output. And then we want to go beyond prompting, just like a chat back and forth. What can AI do for you to actually create repeatable systems where you are in active collaboration mode? Because it's not like ever where you're going to get the first output and that's something that you'll be ready to deliver to a client. It takes a human in the loop process to use AI responsibly. So we're going to talk a lot about that today. And lastly, I'm going to leave you with some other resources. Rome wasn't built in one day. So we're going to share some other certificates you can take through Grow with Google that are free and some other AI courses that we offer as well via Coursera. Awesome. We're mostly going to talk about the desktop version, but I always love plugging in Gemini Live. So if you don't have Gemini on your phone, it works with any phone, is free. You can download the mobile app. And what I especially love about the app is entering Gemini Live, which is simulates a human-to-human conversation, almost like you're talking to your mentor. But let's say your mentor is not available, you're about to head to a meeting, or you're in between meetings. You can brainstorm, strategize, and organize yourself with Gemini Live. And what's good about Gemini Live is if you give it permission right through Gemini, it's connected to the entire Google suite. So it's connected to your calendar, your Gmail, your docs. And if you give it permission, of course, I give it permission. I always say follow your own like privacy data, whatever you feel comfortable with. You don't have to do it because someone else is doing it. And so that's a setting you can turn on and off. And right now I'm going to go into Gemini Live and I'm going to show you especially a great use case for me. And then we're going to jump into some other demos. Hello, Gemini. I just had an exciting meeting with a client. They want to see a proposal by the end of the week. Can you help me put some time on my calendar to discuss this proposal? Maybe a 1 hour block tomorrow?
I can certainly help you set that up. What time tomorrow works best for you to block out that hour?
Yes, let's do some time in the afternoon. And can you put a reminder for me?
I blocked out 2 to 3 p.m. tomorrow for your proposal discussion.
Thank you so much. And also, I would love your advice on how to tackle this proposal. I'm going to upload my notes later, and can we work on figuring out how I can maximize my chances of getting the deal?
That sounds like a great plan. Once you upload your notes, we can dive right in and focus on the best strategy to win that deal.
Thank you, Gemini. And also, I'm with an amazing group of entrepreneurs from Boston Business Mentors. Can you wish them the best of luck in 2026 to get all the revenue up, all the clients, and all the impact across their industries?
To all the entrepreneurs at Boston Business Mentors, best of luck in 2026. May you drive massive revenue growth, secure new clients, and make a lasting impact across all your industries.
Awesome, everybody. This is great. I could have gone into detail. I know we talk about proposals. I actually go to my clients and discuss it. Especially, I live in New York, and if I'm between meetings and all the ideas are in my head, I just talk to Gemini. And so by the time I'm back in my computer, I have a calendar block, I have a plan, and I can continue working the proposal. So if you're not using Gemini Live yet, especially when you get that anxiety, that entrepreneur buzz, please do. It's a good way to organize ideas, get scheduled, and get organized. All right. So here is Gemini. If you can follow along, go to gemini.google.com. Again, we'll be using the web version for the rest of the session. And Gemini is amazing because it's the best of Google's AI family of large language models. So after all these years is a compilation of everything. It has baked in the backend all the data sets and rich data sets. You've seen it connected to Google Search, which is, we know with Google, and now we have AI search. And that's what makes Gemini really fantastic. And like all the other tools, is built for multimodality, which I'm sure is a term you've been hearing, because AI is built to simulate the human brain, to tap into human expertise. So it wants us, just like in the world, we operate across various senses, various complex environments. AI wants to simulate that as well. So for example, we can turn text into image. We can turn text into code. We can do audio into text. We can create these amazing presentations, these images, due to the power of multimodality. So it's not just a text back and forth. You can really make it work for you in that way because it operates using what you do. And again, what is really cool about Google, it comes with the privacy and security of Google Workspace. So again, if any of you already have Workspace account, there's something called Workspace Studio that you can set up different automations. I can give you the link. We won't go into the detail because most of the demos that I'm showing now are using my personal Gmail, are free. But if you do happen to have a paid account with Workspace, you can do these amazing automations across Gmail to create auto replies for you, sitting in your inbox as soon as you get them, to help you create emails as soon as you get a Google form response. There's all these integrations across the Google apps that are easily set up within seconds using Workspace Studio. So ask me some questions later on and I'll show it to you. But even if you don't, Gemini lives in that sparkle in your Gmail to now help you polish your email. So you don't necessarily have to go to the web version to get support. You can get a support within your docs, within your sheets, which is exciting. Awesome. Now jumping into prompting, again, AI needs IKEA level instructions. I don't know about you, but when you get instructed to do a task, the first time you do it, you at least want to see examples, references. You want someone teaching you the way and carrying you through it. Same thing with AI. We say at Google, it's the same thing. If you go to the hairstylist, the barber shop, you show them your haircut, you show them a mood board, you show them a color, your length, the format, you very specific the same way. Because if you want to get a really good haircut, you want to make sure to give as much context as possible. Like, this is my budget. Same with AI. If you don't give it that FYI, that context, those details, you're going to go back and forth. Is not going to save you as much time. And then at the end of the day, you're not going to get what you need. So prompting is a step we think small business owners should prioritize, learn the frameworks of prompting so they can get better output. Google has this 5-step framework for the ingredients of a high quality prompt. It all starts with a task. Tell it exactly what you need. For example, let's say I need a new marketing video for my website. The thing about tasks, you want to make sure that it includes a persona, because you don't want AI to go into his whole entire data set. You want it to tap into one type of expertise at a time. So persona would be, if I want to create a marketing video, I want AI to be, hey, act as a professional marketer. Let's say I'm in the hospitality events industry that that creates very professional yet creative videos. That would be a persona that I would give it. And sometimes I can have fun. I can name like my favorite director. Like I said, make like Ryan Coogler, who produced like Black Panther, Sinners, all these things, like be as creative and cinematic. So again, it's just giving you an idea what you want and what's your flavor. That's the persona. And then the format is also connected to the task. Marketing video, well, AI right now maybe can create 8-second videos. We have great tools with Google, with VO3 and Vids. You can create videos. Notebook LM, you can create good informational videos, but it's still very limited. So let's say for my company 1-minute video, I just want the script. I'm still gonna film it with real humans. So the format that I want is a 1-page document with the 1-minute script. So I'm very specific. Then 2, you give it context. Hey, by the way, I actually only have a $500 budget. I have to film it in 3 weeks. I don't have a location. I need help with a location. And by the way, we're a really fun company. We want to be known as energetic. So you're giving it ideas about your values. You can even upload some of your cultural values and things like that to even give a better picture. And then 3, references. Oh, these are videos that I really like from other competitors, or these are videos we've done in the past and I want to have that same energy. So you can upload the YouTube video or a file that has that example, or a mood board that can have some of the storytelling. References are important. Whenever you can upload something to your prompt or link to give an example, you're going to get a better output. And then from there on, as you create these prompts, you evaluate and iterate. It is, we're not supposed to get it right. Interacting with AI is a new thing, right? We're used to interacting with humans and managing a team of humans. Now we have to manage a team of AI. So it's gonna take a little bit, and that iteration is fairly common, and we encourage it. And sometimes remember that you can separate the prompts into different steps. It's called prompt chaining. So just like when you have a very large project, you have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, similar with the AI. Like first, let's do this. Then you get phase 1. Second, let's do this. And then it helps you really get better output because you're walking along with it at every step versus like saying, do all of this at once. And then try different phrasing and play around with that to get better prompts. It's fairly normal part of the process. And introduce constraints. So that's something where we forget. We are in the driving seat. We're the manager of the AI. So we can say, hey, reduce the amount of words. I only use 500 words. Do not use these buzzwords. They don't work for my industry. You got to educate it. You still have the knowledge. You're the one on the ground with your customers. You know how your customers talk. So tell the AI that. And then also things that are known for AI, like M dashes, quotations that are not really look like a human would write. You can tell it to stop doing that and set that in your settings, or as you prompt, make sure you work with it. All right. How are we feeling about prompting? I have some examples here for with a persona of sales and then product manager, but just want to check in on what's our comfort level with these prompts and what they should be looking like. Feel free to unmute yourself or write it in the chat. Okay, one new. It's helpful. Been learning as I go. Same here. Here does anyone volunteer, want to have fun, especially those that are still learning? You can fill in the blank, and also this gives me an opportunity to learn more about your business. fill in the blank, especially if right now you're in a sales mode. Let's say you're writing a prompt to help you with sales. You will fill in the blank with your products and services, benefits and features, and objections that you're currently getting. We love at least one volunteer, but if we feel really good with prompting, we can move forward and get to more fun stuff. We just want to make sure we don't skip this very important part. Anyone want to volunteer? All right, Amy.
You'll have to work through chat that she doesn't have unmuting capabilities.
Awesome, awesome. All right, Amy, can you fill in the blank in the chat? I'll copy and paste here. We're gonna go into demos anyways. So one second. Put it in the chat here. And now that since we have to do it in a chat as we go along, if you all want to do it throughout and want feedback on your prompts, let me know. I'll also put the other example. And I'll also, after this, can share, we have a workbook where you can practice with more example prompts. Let me get back to, all right, let's do it. And when you find prompts that you really like, I've been joking. This is like the new love language. It's kind of dark, but now we're sharing prompts with one another, not music playlists. But it's just a way to remind you that it's a good tip. You don't want to keep writing them over and over. Once you have good prompts, save them in a document, in a sheets. You can share with other people you trust, mentors. They can add to it. You go to courses like this, you can add prompts you like. So it's a good, easy tip to just have a prompt library with your favorite prompts for proposals, for social media, for emails and whatever you need. All right. LOL, I get it. Let's see if it's sent. Right now, I'm gonna go into my Gemini here. Give me a second. Righty. And please feel free to follow along. So this is Gemini. And what I like, again, you can add things directly from Google Drive, which is very handy because it's connected to Google, but you can also upload your files. And then what I like to point out is these tools. Canvas is one that I use a lot because it allows you to go into that collaborative interface where you're creating presentations, long form documents, and you can actually edit with the AI versus just getting an output and then having to prompt it. And it's like, I know that's not really what I want. So if you are creating those type of more long form thinking projects, I would suggest to go into Canvas mode. And here, what also you can tell it how to think. If you're working in more like financials and things, you can go to Pro. If it's just a quick email, flash light, and that can help you save, especially with your tokens and your limits. I am actually gonna do a proposal prompt right now. I'm gonna go into my this is an example what a prompt library is. I already have it saved. It includes the task, the persona, all the things that we talked about. So I'm just gonna put it here. I am using a demo company. Let's say instead of my real company, I have an events management business and I have a new client that's interested in an event. And so essentially I put this prompt, I improved it with Gemini. So what you can do, you create your own base prompt using that format, right? Of task, context, and references. And then you tell Gemini, can you help me improve this prompt? And that's how it becomes that. So I don't want you to skip you creating it yourself, because that way you give it all the details and things about your business. But yes, when you're struggling with prompting, you can also ask the AI, how can I prompt you better to help me do this? And then you copy and paste what it gives you and you put it in your prompt library. But now this is Canvas doing its thing, is helping me create an event proposal for my client based on this prompt that I gave it. So let's wait to see, load it up. Awesome. So as you see, it gave me for this one a PDF. It's cool. It has some details. But actually I want to make it more mine and more personalized. So something that is really, really cool within Google are these gems. Have we heard of gems? And have we created one? Let's see what we have. No, great. Gems are these, I call them mini Geminis, but custom assistants for very specific tasks. So if there's a task you're doing again and again, yes, you can prompt it like I did using Canvas back in the chat, or you can create a custom assistant for that specific thing. So mine, I have a proposal maker. I don't have to send it this long prompt. It knows what I want. And it's just the way I set it up is going to ask me for the notes of the meetings with the client and the website. So very, very easy. So let's say my client is goodynation.org. I always shout them out because they manage the Grow with Google coaching program. And then I'm going to upload my notes directly from my drive that I had with the client about the event that they're looking for. So I already submitted. It was already on Canvas mode because they knew I wanted a proposal. And now it's going to create something to my liking. Why? Because that's why I set it up. And I'll show you behind the scenes what I did to set this proposal assistant. And now, again, what I like is that I can say, actually, that is not the right title. I am in direct collaboration with it. I can change it. I can tell it to edit certain parts right here, suggest edits, ask Gemini, avoid buzzwords. So it's pretty easy and collaborative. And then I can export it to a Google Doc pretty easily. I can download it. It's not, since it's editing now, it's not letting me, but I'll show you in a second. And I have a proposal that is using my template. If I added my brand colors and my branding guides, this will also look more and more colorful. So here I can export to docs and share. Let me show you behind the scenes of how I created that proposal gem in 5 easy steps. So here it is. You give it a name, proposal maker. I have a friend that makes has more fun with this. They names the custom AI system based on his friends' names. So you can say, hey, Genie, but proposal maker worked for me. It doesn't really impact how it works. The description doesn't impact how it works. It's for you and your team. I have helped me create winning sales proposals. And then I have a prompt. And these are even more detailed. They're called the GEM instructions, the instructions of your assistant. Again, I started with very basic instructions that I created based on best practices. If you forget, the cool thing is you have a learn more here, and it has that framework we talked about. It's a little different. It mentions a persona first, but either way, you're getting to the same thing. So if you forget, don't worry, just learn more. And also ask Gemini, how can I create a gem instruction to help me build a social media calendar? And then you take that and you copy and paste here. So very easy to get to that. You can click the default tool. So for this one is Canvas, because I'm looking for documents or presentation, long form documents. Let's say you're creating more images for your marketing. You can have a default tool that's images, which is really cool. And that gem would create flyers, images, infographics, things for you. And then what makes it my proposal? You can feed it your own knowledge. So I have my own template that I uploaded from Google Doc. So it knows exactly how I want to format every proposal. And then I gave it a notebook, and I'm going to show you what notebooks are, because again, they now call Gemini notebook. all my notebooks are connected to Gemini, and my notebooks are my own sources of truth. So it doesn't hallucinate, is using my own knowledge. So I happen to have a successful proposal notebook. So it knows what proposals have worked for me in the past, is able to learn from those wordings, things that I use to then apply to new potential clients. These are how you quickly build a gem. Five easy steps, maybe takes 2 minutes. And now you have a gem that you can go back to in the sidebar anytime you have to create a proposal. Any questions on how I went about that and how you can do that for your own business? Thank you, Lindsay. I have briefed my Gemini with how I learn best, how I need information presented to me. I need to share challenges. For example, I get overwhelmed when I get too many options or aren't sure where to start. It has helped me and many of my clients work with AI more sustainable. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for providing that. It's like also a good strategy there, prompt chaining, like, yeah, that step by step asking, what should I do here? Then what should I do here versus giving me the whole thing. Awesome. I love that we're liking gems. And yes, let's go to Notebook because it is within the Google ecosystem and it works great together. Before I do that, I know we mentioned some needs around emails. I also have a customer support agent that I created as well, that I train with my own personal FAQ. So if you know you get these very common questions again and again, and you're like, I answer this so many times, why not create an FAQ of your own and that it knows how to respond like you? So this is something that I can do. I have a customer support agent. I don't even have to give it a prompt. I just give it an email that I got from a recent client or lead, and then it just drafts that response based because I train it to act like me. This is also a gem that took me under a minute. Like, yes, if you don't have an FAQ, you have to create it. You can create it with Gemini and tell Gemini, hey, these are the common questions I get. This is that. That might take a little setup, but once you have it, imagine the power of just having a customer support agent that responds like you. And so this looks behind the scenes the same. You go to edit, you can maintain it, edit it anytime, and I have it. It can help you reply to frequent questions. Again, all these for free. This is just using my personal Gmail. I'm not even into anybody that has workspace. And here I didn't need a default tool because you just need an email. And then I fed it an FAQ of this events firm. Another one that I really, really like is again for help me create marketing copy. You can do gems for everything, especially those very annoying tasks we do at the beginning. I would say just do a gem, clients, reports, and then even to stay on top of your industry. And this one's cool because it's connected to a notebook that I have on the fashion e-commerce industry. So let me actually go into notebook and what it is. Again, is a research and thinking partner. It works as a standalone. You don't need to use it with Gemini. It works also together very well to produce personalized output. So here we are in Notebook LM or Gemini Notebook, and you're seeing some of my notebooks that I created for some demos, including the successful proposal. One that I like to show is my financials one. I am not good, but some of you here are as entrepreneurs, you know, we have our strength. Mine is not numbers, not financials. So I created around a tax season. I uploaded some of the tax new new documentation, liabilities, my own financials. I'm not showing you my exact one. This is for the demo, but it's based on my real experience. And again, some of these tax forms are very complex or have like 50 pages. And so before connecting to my accountant, so I'm prepared, I can just upload my sources. And instead of having to reread or re-listen or watch, I can ask, hey, what do you recommend I do to increase my profit next quarter? So because I attach financials, I attach my tax, and I'm thinking it looks at those sources and it's able to answer based on that. So it's not pulling off the web unless you want to, is using your own sources. You can add up to 50 sources. They can be files, so photos of things, pictures of documents, picture of your notebooks if you have some of your inventory or financials on a notebook, on a physical notebook, that's okay. You can upload YouTube videos. Let's say you attended a webinar like this and you actually upload it to your notebook instead of watching me again for 60 minutes. You add it to your AI notebook and you can always ask questions about it. You can add your own notes as well, which is great. Let's say you just heard something amazing and you just wanted to be part of your notebook. You copy and paste that here. And then stuff from your drive, of course, which makes it pretty easy. And when you do it from your drive, you can do an auto sync. So anytime you upload the documents or your drive, it would also update here, which is pretty great. But what's awesome about this is not just only, again, the chatting, you can create really cool collateral from this. For example, now we have videos based on the content that you give it. So this is a video on financial.
Hey everyone, and welcome to today's explainer. You know, if you've ever stared at business finance and felt like it was just this impenetrable fortress of numbers, totally confusing jargon.
Are we hearing the sound? I forgot if I click.
Yes, you're good.
Okay, perfect. So yeah,
Intimidating government forms, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to completely reframe this complex world of finance. We aren't going to look at it as a chore. We're going to treat it like a journey and actually a
yeah, and then you can also create audios here. And what's cool, say,
And today our goal is to map out exactly where those two realities collide.
And to do that, we have pulled a really fascinating stack of sources for this deep dive.
Yeah, some heavy hitters today.
We are looking at the official glossary of business terms to, lock down the foundational language. But more importantly, we are looking at the actual enforcement mechanisms.
The forms that actually matter.
Exactly. The U.S. Small Business Administration.
so that one, and you prompt these videos. I told it to explain it to me like a fifth grader because I was so lost. But the cool thing here is you can actually interrupt the AI and have a conversation with your sources and ask it questions. So you can join the conversation.
If you've been running a business for, more than a few months, you probably already know that your balance sheet is not just some passive.
Hey there. Want to share your thoughts on this?
Yo, I'm just really stressed and I need to fill this form out. Can we just talk about the top 3 takeaways and things I need to have in mind?
It is so great to have you chiming in with that request.
It really is. Filling out that SBA Form 413 can feel like a total marathon.
So let's unpack.
If I had to boil that entire intimidating document down to 3 main takeaways.
First, it is a total, absolute financial strip search of your entire life.
That is exactly right. They want to see every single thing you own.
We are talking bank.
Awesome. So that's pretty cool. And you can just continue, you can continue talking to it. They can be very funny. So you can just continue to interrupt and say, hey, get to the point. You can also create slide decks with this. And I know that's useful. Again, just like in Gemini, make sure you prompt it and use it. That's how you're going to get better slide decks. You can say, sure, you can set the length. They do help you like click, so you don't always have to put in the prompt. And you can also do any of these in any language. So you can share it with a teammate that only speaks Spanish. I have some of it in Spanish if I want to share it with my family. And we're talking about financials as well, which is really helpful. The mind maps here as well to organize all your knowledge. So really pretty cool collaborative. And I know for employee training and onboarding, folks are creating quizzes as well, which is really helpful, and flashcards. And this is a way you can share it with your entire employee base. And so these are some of the examples of things I created. Any questions about Notebook LM? Or Gemini Notebook? It just recently got rebranded. That's why you're hearing me say all these names. All right. Let me see, go into questions if I see any.
Yeah, there is a question. When would you use Notebook LM versus Gemini AI?
Yes. Let me actually show you a video of a customer of ours using Notebook LM on his own to give you, and again, ideas of how you can use it on his own. And then I will share when it's good for Gemini and doing those custom AI assistants. So let me go back into the deck here. I'll show Mike from Chicago. I love his example. And so what we can debrief on Notebook LM after we hear about how he uses it.
As a small business owner, my time is limited, so I use AI to help me create efficiencies throughout the business. Here's how I use AI to make communicating employee policies easier. In order for me to be efficient with my time, it's incumbent on me to find the resources available for my employees to have on hand. I would spend my time explaining and re-explaining policies and procedures to new employees. Previously, we'd have notebooks on site. Those would get lost. You'd have procedures you put in place that are then updated by the city of Chicago. I realized that Notebook LM would be an amazing tool to help with this issue. So we took the documents we already had existing in Google Drive. We upload them straight into Notebook LM. Now we have 30, 40 different procedures and policies now in a notebook. From there, we send it off to employees. Now they can ask questions to Notebook LM directly. For example, if a new employee comes on board and asks, hey, how much time do we get up? What is the PTO policy? These things are kind of nuanced. It takes time to explain, but they can now ask the questions in Notebook, which is giving them answers based on the files that we uploaded. Now I can create the policy and get it out to people in a matter of minutes. I can't count how much time it's going to save me in the future.
That's I love Mike's example. So I would think of anything you have like a lot of documentation for or a lot of your files and it's hard to read through every time and they're constantly changing. Why not create a notebook with that source of truth and have AI help you synthesize and also help your employees always get up to date with the latest information about your business? I have one also for grants and applying for small business grants. As you can imagine, those RFPs that we apply to can be like 100 pages and it's hard to read it. I just put it in a notebook with all my business information. It tells me how to answer. It reminds me of the criteria. It can help me brainstorm with initial weights. Let's say sometimes you have to create a presentation or audio or etc. So that's another use case for grants and fundraising. I'm uploading videos. If the RFP hosted a webinar, let me put a 60-minute webinar and then I can just ask, hey, can you remind me of the best practices to apply to that grant without having to reread 100 pages. I hope that's helping. So I would, when you have that list of very annoying things, I would think, hey, what are these things that have a lot is my own business sources that they're all spread out and I just need to put it in one place versus maybe it's a task where it doesn't need a lot of your business information on a lot of documents. You can let the AI, as long as you give it a good persona, you can create a good output, then maybe just use Gemini. But if it includes a lot of your own sources, and also people load Notebook when they don't trust AI as much to hallucinate, when they're like, I love these sources and I want to be in control. I want to check off what the AI is looking into. Notebook LM gives you that flexibility. So here's was able to remind me of the eligibility, and then it actually goes as far, something you can also do in Gemini. Sometimes I do both. It goes as far like, yes, draft the 10-page narrative outline for me, and it's doing it. You can also do that back in Gemini. So there's some crossover, but hopefully that helps. Notebook is good when you want your own sources, when you want to be in control, when you want to upload as many files, and opposed to Gemini is more of a general AI system, which you can direct. You can still upload sources, but it wouldn't be this comprehensive of having like as many as 50 sources where you can control in one notebook. Is that helpful? Say. Yes, yes, this is your own notebook. So you can share it to who you trust, just like a Google Doc, but no one, this is not a public notebook. This is not feeding the data sets. This is your own notebook. You share it how you want, just like a Google Doc.
Okay, and then there's another question in Q&A. Pardon the question related to another tool, but are notebooks similar to projects in Claude? Do you know?
Ooh, I'm not a Claude user. I have a lot of friends that are, and I sort of know, but I actually don't, unless you want to give me more perspective, because Notebook is a research note taker. Like the specialty is in these sources where I think Claude projects are not just focused on research, and note taking. So they're specifically built to add sources. You can add tons of questions. It listens to you, can study up faster. Like a lot of academic people that are going back to school and their course, they use Notebook. And folks are using it to teach it to their children, financial literacy, and create. I'm hearing about all these amazing case studies, but it's very specific on learning, researching, note taking, studying up your business, your industry, and to share that same knowledge across your teammates. A lot of people are sharing their notebooks with customers. So hey, instead of doing the audit or initial consulting via phone call, it's like talk to my notebook, and so you can learn about my previous work. You can learn how I work. So that's a use case you can share with your potential clients, as well, using your own sources. So the AI is not acting on his own. So I think it is a very different purpose than a Claude projects. But again, I don't use it, so there might be some overlap that you're aware about that I don't know. I wanted to show you another customer because we're trying to like when to go to Gemini that use Gemini for social media. And I know that's a big one. So I want to show the video from Tari as well. And then while I do that, I'll also be reviewing some questions in the chat.
I recommend that every small business use AI for social media marketing. We had a great event called Legends and Legacy that was focused on celebrating women at the highest level of sport. The event was so successful that we wanted to do a full recap of it on social. The challenge then became, how do we synthesize all of this incredible information, both visual and copy, in order to have an effective social media campaign to recap the event? All of the files for this event was in Google Workspace. So I had photos, and I had slides, I had docs that had the strategy and some of the outline for the day. So I asked Gemini to pull out what it thought would be the best social media post, and ideas for a social media campaign. So Gemini comes back and gave me a bunch of different options, different captions, different emojis in the caption, and to give me some ideas for several posts that I could create out of this one topic, but really identified the key points that were worth sharing and expanding upon for the social media campaign.
So that's a good one for social media. If you do events, you upload photos. And again, like we were discussing earlier, then working with it, it's like, what are good strategy? Then actually create the captions, help me generate the images. And then that's how you can get some help with social media. I also will create a gem as well, a 30-day calendar gem where it's feeding you social media posts for each calendar based on events that you go to or industry things, articles that you see, and then it can generate that picture based on your brand. I want to slow down a little bit because I did see some comments in the chat to kind of get a little bit more beginner steps. So I just want to, can you ask some questions about where I can help, and I can kind of slow down and focus on the things you all want to learn. And for those that feel a little bit more ready, I want you to take the time now to create your own gem for something at the end. I want you to leave with value. I want you to try it out. So if you said you are struggling with social media, try to create a gem, a custom assistant. Again, it's free. You can use it through a personal Gmail for social media. If you need help applying for grants, you can create a proposal gem like I did. If you want to create a notebook instead around your employee manual and policies like Mike, that's a great one. Popular gem is also around invoices. I know I travel a lot. I have to get receipts. So just uploading it to a gem to help keep track of my expenses. That's a good example. So please feel free to try. And then I just want to go back now into the Q&A to see where I can slow down, especially, what is it, Katie? Is there a question I can address? And Denise?
There is a question in chat. Can it create short, polished reels from raw video?
Yes, it's pretty limited of what the videos I would say is the newest, but definitely try it out. Like, it's 8 seconds and then you would have to edit it together yourself. But yes, it can. What are you looking to create? Give me more information. Is it raw videos of what? All right. Any question is good though, Denise. Anything that came to mind, feel free to ask. And also I'm gonna leave my email here if questions come up later. I can also help async because perhaps in the chat you didn't want to get to a specific in your business, but in an email you can say, "Hey Yulkendy, I want to use Google to do XYZ. What can I do?" I can give you very detailed instructions over email, and I can help you, and we can troubleshoot. So just send me an email.
A follow-up on the video question is a raw video of a craft project, for example.
Yes, something like you take on your kitchen, like a craft project of what?
So
Might
like
be
if
might be something that that it's best to do over email. So Elena, if you want to share your email for your specific example, and we can test it and work on it to see if you like the video output it creates.
Okay. New question. Does Gemini post automatically on your social media platforms? Does it eliminate the need to schedule posts inside your CRM, like go high level?
No, what it can do, you can create a gem to create your social media calendar. And then you either have to subscribe to a platform that focuses on scheduling social media posts or copy and paste the post yourself. But Google is really great with across Google apps integration. But if it's posting on LinkedIn or Instagram, there's no direct integration that you can do. But it would just save a lot of time on creating the post and the images, but you still need another tool or do it yourself.
Katie's asking if there's a class for beginners and what you'd recommend.
Awesome. Yes, I'll share those resources to wrap up. Another thing that I want to end, are any of you using a Google business profile? Are you in Google Maps where you're receiving reviews? That's also linked with Notebook and Gemini, which is amazing. So if you haven't tried it out, you can go to Gemini and say, at Google Business Profile, analyze themes in my reviews. What are the positive things that people are mentioning? You can even create a Gemini notebook tied to your Google Business Profile to address low reviews or to create better products or service. It can help you digitize your menu or your services. So this is a great integration with the Google Business Profile for those of you that have a brick and mortar location. So I always want to point that out, and definitely check it out. And this is something I can help more over email, but it can help help you reply to customers, reply once you allow that connection to your Google business profile, and also give you insights on how to improve your business and your services. So I think this is a great value app, and that just got released in the latest month, and it's just showing the linkage across all the Google suite. Anybody have a good Google business profile on the call?
We do at Boston Business Mentors.
Well, this is great. So this is a way you can link it to Gemini as well. So make sure you're not underutilizing that to get the best of your data. It's very easy. You can
Okay.
add a Google business profile when you go to Gemini. Awesome. I know I want to leave you with some sources. Once you do these right, you start creating these gems, these custom AI assistants to help you do this repeatable task. We're hearing you can save about 13 hours a week. So again, I know it takes some patience, maybe some courses and learning, but imagine once you have that set up, the you can get a day of your week back. As you do this, is your own comfort that comes first. So assess the accuracy, the bias, the potential harms, consider the effects of AI, privacy, and security, and don't put the load just on you. Tell your clients, coworkers about the AI is affecting everybody and how we exchange the business. So, and that's a way to use it responsibly and at your time. Okay, beginner courses. Save these links. Grow that Google/prompting. You can do it at your own time. Grow that Google/AI essentials. They are via Coursera, and you can pause when you're not ready to move forward. So it's a really great course. So please, and then there's no such thing as stupid questions. So Denise, Elena, whoever, just email me things that we might have, so I can give you more of that step back of why, what prompting. Maybe we should focus more on prompting. I can do that with you over email. You can also have certificates that you can take if you have specific focus area. Grow that Google certificates, check them out. You can give it to your employees as well. They're really helpful. And also you can just go on YouTube. The thing is with Notebook and Gemini, releases are being made really frequently. So YouTube is the best way to know the latest. Like by the time if you do another workshop together, we Notebook might look completely different. It's amazing. Like the videos. No, a lot of people ask me about the videos. There's gonna be a time where I can comfortably say, yes, you can create the best video reels. Now my answer is gonna be, well, we have to try it. Because videos is like the latest where it's getting AI is getting better. Images was kind of phase one. Even with images, I think it's still improving as we make those updates. Righty. And overall, all these resources are at google.com/grow. Well, thank you so much for having me today. Yes, Ronan, definitely check out the Google Business Profile integration. Let me know how it works for you. I can also help. We're really very excited about that announcement.
Okay, I just want to thank you so much for the presentation today. I know I learned a ton. So I do want to just to put a little bit of plug in for Boston Business Mentors because we're the human side when you're going through all these different AI things with your business. Think of us as your source of business education, whether it's through information, through our workshops, and don't forget about mentoring. Mentoring is so important for any business at any stage of the game. There's our QR code so that you can apply for a mentor, and we work with folks at every stage. Do not forget that you do not have to have things done ahead of time to come talk to someone. So thanks again, and we hope to see you again in the near future. Bye, everybody.